Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Duels. This week, we're going to be taking a look at an Enchantment deck. It's kind of a cool idea this week. I was a bit lost on what I wanted to build, so I ended up going down the sub-deck list, which is getting quite large now as well, so I wanted to maybe trim that down a bit. So instead of doing a sub-deck, this is usually one of my own builds, and then we do a sub-deck, but I was a little bit lost on inspiration, essentially. So what I've done is taken one of the sub-decks that you guys have submitted. In this case, it is Ray Basato. Thank you for your conviction deck list. So that's what we're going to be playing this week. But I've actually changed it up a little bit, put my own little bit of flair on it, and kind of changed the way that it works, and essentially. So it's 50% my deck, 50% Ray's, and it does some very fun things. So check out the deck tech if you haven't already, but without further ado, let's get into the game, shall we? I'll see you there. Okay, we're on the play. We've got a one land hand. Never take a one land hand. Oh my god. We've got a Rallier to get back the Evolving Wilds, so there is ramp here to be had, and I suppose we could draw into stuff. This hand right here is just asking to draw more lands though. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Right, let's go Sun Petal Grove, pass the turn. Yeah, if you ever get a heavy land filled hand, the odds are against you that you'll draw a land, but you will anyway, because that's how Magic Duels likes to work. Alright, swamp into Renegade map. Cool. Maybe blue-black artifacts then. Well, there's a turn 3 play for Nissa. That's good. We'll play a forest and we'll pass the turn. Still don't know what our opponent's doing, but I'm sure we're about to find out sooner or later. Sacks the Renegade map, going for an island, I guess, or maybe another swamp. Forest, okay, completely wrong. Maybe this is Delirium then. Glint Sleeve Siphoner. That's the one that draws cards, right? Yes, it is. Okay. I'm a little unsure what is going on here. Ooh, Tireless Tracker. What's the odds of that surviving? And do I want to lose it over a Nissa? So let's think about our next plays. I was wanting to turn 4 Renegade Rallier and trigger it to get an Evolving Wilds back again. So that we can then, the turn after, crack that Evolving Wilds, play a land, and trigger Tireless Tracker twice. So I think I do want to go Nissa here. So let's go Nissa. Thin out a deck as well, because we've already got enough lands to cast everything in our deck for the rest of the game, so I don't really want to see any more lands unless they're Evolving Wilds. Okay. Is this when he attacks then? Enters the battlefield or attacks, he gets an energy, and then at the beginning of his upkeep he can pay 2 to draw a card and lose a life. Imperial Voyager. This is energy focused then, I'm guessing. Alright, attacks in with his 2-1 Menace. We can't block it, and I wouldn't even if I could. So we'll skip. Unfortunately, we can't attack in with our Nissa either because he's got a 2-3 Trampler, which blocks perfectly. Oh, more lands, of course. Right, Evolving Wilds. Crack the Evolving Wilds. Trigger Revolt. We will get a Plains. Play Renegade Rallier. Grab back the Evolving Wilds, and then we'll hold on to that until we can Tireless Tracker. And we'll pass the turn. That was not a bad turn. I'd like some action in hand though soon. So he chooses to use his energy with the Glint Sleeve, so he draws a card and loses a life. Goes with an Evolving Wilds. Alright. Cracks it. Revealing. What you got, opponent? Another forest. Okay. Fairly confident we've hit the end of the colours that are in his deck. Sure thing. Alright. Do I want to block here? Not really. So we'll just hit 4. This is fine for now. He gets 2 energy from the Voyager. He gets energy equal to the damage that it dealt in combat to a player, more specifically. Alright. Anything else for his opponent, or are you just going to pass? He's got something. Die young. Choose target creature and then you spend energy to kill it, I'm assuming. Yep. Nissa down. We draw more lands. Of course we do. We're flooding. What else were we supposed to do? Not draw lands? Who'd want to do a silly thing like that? Right, let's crack our Evolving Wilds. Grab another Plains. Plains are far more useful than forests in this deck, just for the record. And we get to swing for 3 here. And then we'll crack a clue on our end step. Oh, actually, on their end step, should I say. I get to pretend I've got removal of some sort, which I don't have, because we have lands. And who needs removal when you have lands? Draws an extra card and goes down to 15. Probably see the Tireless Tracker get removed here, to be honest. We really need to find action soon. Winding Constrictor. Okay, so if you'd get energy, he'd get twice as much. Or an extra 1, should I say. So he gets 2 energy here. Yes. And gets to swing for 4 again. It's an interesting deck he's got. I'm just going to crack this clue now. Because we can. Goes up to a 4-3, we draw a card. It is not a land. It's actually a pretty good card, actually. Because we can go over the top with our Tireless Tracker. But we're at 10, so there is also the fact that we can't really afford to do that. But at least we can block this guy now. Oh, more Evolving Wilds. Of course. Of course, of course. We've hit nothing but lands. 23 lands in the deck, guys. 23. It happens, of course, but this is outrageous all the same. Crack one, see if we can get something better. Another Tireless Tracker. So we could Tracker, crack the wilds, get 2 clues. Not sure here, to be honest. I think that's probably what we're gonna do. I'm gonna swing with everybody, and then he swings back for 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we've got a Tireless Tracker back to block one of them, or at least threaten to block one. I'm just gonna swing him with everything. See what he wants to do here. Because if he double blocks the tracker, we sack a clue, and it lives. And 2 of his creatures die, so he's just going to take it. Figured. Down to 7. Play our Tireless Tracker. Crack our clue. Another Plains. Get 2 clues. And pass the turn. We're going to block the Constrictor if he gets in with it. He's looking for answers. He's paying all of his energy to draw cards. Can we come out of this in the most flooded hand I've ever had in my entire life? Well, silver lining. So I've always got to have a positive attitude about everything. At least when we got flooded, we had landfall creatures. So there's that. Other than that, this has been garbage and I hate it. So, if he doesn't kill our trackers and he swings in with his flyer, we could swing over the top and just win. I've got to think that he can beat us here, to be honest. Or at least cripple us to the point where we don't stand a chance of winning. Gotta have summit, right? Thriving Rhino, that doesn't help. Are we really going to win here? Gets him for 6. He needs a +4/+4 combat trick. And I don't think there is one for 2 mana. I think we just won. Short of removal, actually. There is that, of course. Up to 16 energy. Right. So. Let's play a land. Get some clues. Crack some clues. Just find out where we stand. We only need 2 mana to do what we plan on doing anyway, so... There's Unbridled Growth. To draw another card. Let's crack a clue again. Another land. Right, let's just Nimbus Wings up this Tireless Tracker here. And go to attacks. Swing with everything. We just won? We've just won. Okay. Good. Nobody expects the Nimbus Wings. Well, that was a bit close for comfort. We won through extreme flooding. My God, how many lands did we draw there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we're on the play. I've just noticed the size of our opponent's deck, and it made me giggle. So, we're on the play. If we thin out a deck, we decrease the odds of getting to a turn 3 Heliod spell. I think we can do better than this. This is better. Okay, let's go. Canopy Vista and pass the turn. Yeah, our opponent's running 100 cards. I think they're doing it on purpose. I get the feeling. I don't know. One of these days, I'm going to have to do a deck with 100 cards and see if I can make it work. But work in such a way that it benefits from having 100 cards. I'm not sure what that could be. Maybe Arm and Kettle give me some cards to work with that'll allow me to do such things. Okay, so we want to go with Sun Petal Grove, because next turn we're not going to play the Rallier. We're going to do the Rallier on turn 4, cracking the Evolving Wilds. So it's going to be Sylvan Advocate. Next turn we can Conviction, get past the Jaddy Offshoot, and that shall be our turn. And we can even pull it back then on the same turn if something goes horribly wrong. Cool. So our opponent's playing some sort of landfall deck, so they're playing lots of lands. Maybe that's where I go for this. Animist Awakening for 5 million. That kind of thing. He's got his own Advocate. Okay. And we get another Evolving Wilds. Of course we do. Having a repeat of last round. Seems like it. Alright, let's play Conviction. That's going to give enough power to swing past his Advocate. And make quite the hefty soldier, if I do say so myself. And no blocks for him. No attacks for him either. Because we got a 3/6. And that's hard to beat with burn or fight mechanics. What you got, opponent? Don't tell me you haven't drawn lands. Oh, there you go. Rootbound Crag. And an Animist Awakening for 2. Oh my God. See if he hits 2 lands here. He does. Alright, is he running maybe like 3 creatures that benefit from lands and then the rest are lands? I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on how to build a 100-card stack that benefits from having 100 cards in it. That's what I want to know. I'm thinking landfall might actually be the way to go. Just play all the ramp cards to thin it out. Yeah, planes. And then you're removing the fact that it's got tons of lands. But at the same time you play landfall creatures. Alright. There we go, there's an Evolving Wilds. We're going to crack it again in a second. But for now, we're going to get him for 3. Might be quite a fun experiment. See what you guys can come up with, and I'll do the same. Alright, let's get planes. Pass the turn. Ulrich, the Chronal Horde. Oh yeah. That creature gets big. He plays a land. Sorry to say, buddy, but this guy is never flipping on my watch. We've got Conviction. Literally have a card I can play every single turn for the rest of the game. Gets in for 8. I will allow it. It's a lot, but I think we can work with that. He's got 4/5 now. We're about to have a bigger one as well. So there's that. We did get a Blessed Spirits, which is nice. So we're going to play a land. We're going to crack the Evolving Wilds. Get another planes. Then we'll play Blessed Spirits, which gets a counter every time we cast an enchantment. Play a Conviction on the Sylvan Advocate. So now he can't double block and get through. We got 6/11. Can only deal 8 damage to this Advocate. And we can kill one of his creatures every time he double blocks, so there's nothing in it for him. Right. Fairly well set up here. And in fact, next turn I think we'll probably take the Convictions off of the Advocate and stick them on the Blessed Spirits. Nissa's Revelation, scry 5, and then put one of them on the top. And if it's a creature card, you draw cards equal to its power and gain life equal to its toughness. He's looking for an Ulamog or something of that note. I want to know if they're all... Yep, they must have been all lands, because he just put a mountain on top. Oh my god. This deck. This deck. Ooh, Sigil. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe we'd play Sigil instead then. Sigil's going to be able to do some fun things. Let's get him for 9 this time. I expect no blocks. No blocks. Alright, and then we'll go Forest, and we will... Yeah, go Sigil like so. Get a counter on our Blessed Spirits. And then on the end step, we'll bounce both of these Convictions back to our hand. And then we get 2 mana for a 4/4, essentially. From the Sigil of the Empty Throne. Sweet little card that I've not really played too much with. Did back in Origins, I had an enchantment deck then, but obviously did not have as much power level as it might do today. But yeah, we got him dead in the air now, so even through a Jaddy offshoot. Although an Animist Awakening for 5 million, that might do it. Hits for 7. Let's have a look what he's doing. He's got he's got lots of landfall creatures. He's landfall, but he's running tons of lands. Fair enough. Variance on this is just stupidly high, of course. Yep. Just played an 8 mana, gain 1 life. I know they were replaced. He quit. Alright. We're gonna return that to our hand. And then return that one to our hand as well. Untap. Draw a land ourselves. Play Conviction. Get a 4/4. Get a counter on the Blessed Spirits. We're just going to keep doing this until he gets up to 8. There's 7. And 8. And swing in for lethal. Oh dear. I guess we're having a third game. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next game. Okay, we are in. If we had a green source, I would like this hand. I don't though, so I'm going to throw it back. This one has an advocate. If we draw a land, it does things. It's not much better than the last one, but I don't want to go down extra cards and find out that we can't cast anything in our other one. If I can use a hand after the mulligan, I will. Red for our opponent. Okay. Ah, there's a white source. Lovely. No need to show him that yet, though. We'll just go forest into Sylvan Advocate, thinking that we're green stompy. See what our opponent's doing. Depending on whether we draw a land or not, depends what Heliod's Pilgrim's going to grab, because I'd like to trigger the Rallier. So if we draw a land... we don't. We do draw a Tireless Tracker that could do with a land, though. Not sure. We're going to go plains. Swing in for 2. Our opponent seems to be on vampires, judging by Call the Bloodline. So we could go bishop, and then all of these trigger investigate. Or we could go pilgrim, grab an unbridled growth, hope to draw a land, and we can trigger renegade rallier. And that's hoping on something, so bygone bishop's already better than that plan. We could just tireless tracker and hope to draw a land, plus putting out a threat on the board. I think we just bishop here. This one's the only one that's got some nice guarantees to it. And even then, it's not really much of a guarantee, because I expect one of these creatures to die, Mr. Bond. Dragon Skull Summit. Okay, you're going to put down a vampire now. Hey, this could even be the old deck that I used to play, the Red-Black Madness Burn one. That was doing well until I entered a tournament with it. And then it went horribly wrong. If it is that, I know exactly how to beat it. It's whether or not I can. Opponent goes to second main. Yeah, there's a Grasp of Darkness for the bishop, I guess. Yes. Alright. Fair enough. We get a Conviction. Conviction works nicely if we get a land, so that we can bounce it back to our hand. In fact, do we want to play that now? Because if we play that now, then what we get to do is hit him for 3, and we have burn protection, proper burn protection for the Sylvan Advocate. If we draw a land, we can then pay a white and bounce it back to our hand, which triggers Revolt for the Renegade Rallier, who can't grab anything. So there's that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where to go here, if I'm honest. We can't bounce Conviction if he has removal, so I'm guessing Tireless Tracker for the nice amount of pressure. Heliod's Pilgrim grabs us what? Nimbus Wings? Or even Angelic Destiny we can't cast. If we went on this mana, it would be a lot easier of a decision, but... Don't think I want to run Tracker out into no value, because that could just be a Fiery Impulse and then he dies, so... Heliod's Pilgrim. Let's grab a cheap enchantment. I'm going to go with Unbridled Growth. Because we could actually draw a land off of the sacrifice there as well. Which would be enough. So, go to attacks. Gonna discard by the looks of it to make a 1/1 lifelinker. Yep. Can't madness whatever he discards. Discards a mountain. Alright. So he's gonna go up to 19 here. We have ourselves a game, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, swamp. Call the bloodline. Gonna discard something to madness it, I assume. She'll get him a 1/1 vampire. It is a blood mad vampire. Okay. So you can pay 2 to madness that out. And he does. And he gets a 1/1 lifelinker as well. So we can't attack through that. Not right now anyway. There's a Gisela. Right, if I'm not going to Unbridled Growth looking for a land, what am I going to do? I could turn this guy into a 3/6. Which blocks and blocks. I can do that even after the Unbridled Growth though. So I think that's what we'll do. Stick that on there. We're only planning to sacrifice it. To draw a card, trying to find a land. There's a land. Alright, so land gets us Renegade Rallier, which gets us Unbridled Growth back again, which draws us a card, which is nice. Okay. A decent bit of value there. And then we'll hold back. So we now have 4 mana, so we can stick Gisela down. Which should be a nice amount of awkwardness for our opponent. So if this is vampires, he's usually trying to be aggressive. If this is burn, yet again, he doesn't really like us gaining life, so Gisela, either way, is going to do a fair bit of work. He's got problems if he wants to get through with the Blood Mad Vampire as well, because Helios Pilgrim is just perfect right now to block it. I'm perfectly happy to do that. Even if you like Madness is in a Stensian Masquerade, I think it's called, still I'm going to block it. Do not care. Alright. Discards to call the bloodline. It is Incorrigible Youths. Alright, so 3 madness on that one for a 4/3 with haste. Sure. I've got blockers. So let's see if he wants to come in for some attacks. Seriously? Alright. Block and kill. Block and kill. Yup. We'll hold on to the Unbridled Growth. We might need to trigger Revolt. We don't. Alright. Let's just sack this now, get an extra card draw. So, we could land down a Sigil of the Empty Throne, and then from that point forward, we'd just Conviction, return it, Conviction, return it, Conviction, return it. Or we could put down Gisela, which is a decent attacker and blocker. Or a Tiles Tracker into a land, gets us a clue to sack. I think we probably just want to get down Sigil, so we can make the most of this. Next turn, we play it for 2, bring it back for 1. Yeah, we're going to be able to do that twice for 2 4/4s, I think. If my math is correct. Although, no, we need more white sources, so maybe not. Let's go Conviction. Oh no, we want to go Sigil, sorry. Get that down. Every enchantment is now a 4/4. And we need Sylvan Advocate around to stick Conviction on. Okay. Dead Weight. Takes you to a 0-1. That's fine. Once we get to 6 or more lands, it's going to get +2/+2, so next turn we're going to be able to attack him with it again. Even with the enchantment on. Gets him for 3, gains 3. A Fury Blade Vampire. So a 1/2 trample. In the beginning of combat, you can discard a card to give it +3/+0. Right, so we play a land. This guy gets +2/+2 forever. Goes up to a 2/3, which blocks that nicely. And even if he discards, it still survives an attack as well. We can stick Conviction on it as well to make it go through even further. I think we'll just sell her. Not just sell it. What am I talking about? I am so tired, apparently. We're going to play Tireless Tracker. We're going to play Sun Petal Grove. Takes it up to a 2/3. As though it was never attached. And then play Conviction on the Sylvan Advocate. Gets a 4/4. Takes this guy up to a 3/6. And we start swinging in again. We've got 1 mana open to bring the Conviction back to our hand. To start chaining together 4/4s. Our opponent's run out of steam here by the looks of it. He's not even going to block with a token. Clearly wants whatever's in his hand. Which is fine by me. So 1 card he's not willing to discard. To stop 3 damage. That's what we need to know. Yeah, he's not coming back from this, I don't think. I mean, he could Languish and then Sylvan Advocate's the only thing that really survives that, but that ain't gonna happen. Alright, goes to attacks. Probably not swinging in with anything, no. And we're gonna bring Conviction back to our hand. Sweet. Bygone Bishop is useless at the moment. Play a land, get a clue. Play Conviction. Stick it on the Advocate, get a 4/4. We return it for a white. Play it again for a white and a green. We've got white and green left up, so we can bounce it again. So we might as well. Play it again. Do I want to put this to a 2/6? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can take out 3 of his tokens if he blocks with everything. Yeah, sure. If you're willing to do that. Let's do this. Swing in for 4, 7. What you got? Discards Call the Bloodline to make another vampire. Yeah, blocks with everything. So, do we want to take down the vampire or the lifelinkers? I think we want to take down the lifelinkers. Because he's already got a Madness Enabler anyway, so I'm happy to do this. In fact, do I want... Yeah, I kind of do want my Conviction back, actually, so we'll only kill 2 vampires. Which is fine. Our board's getting steadily out of hand. To the point we take half his life off next turn and you can't block it with these vampires anymore. Another Fury Blade Vampire. Does nothing for me. Hey Sram, how's it going, buddy? Play Sram. Sram now allows Conviction to be a cantrip as well. So, play Conviction, draw a card, get a 4/4. There's a Herald. We'll play the Herald. Herald makes enchantments cheaper. And gains us life whenever we use one. So, let's get in with all of our angels. We've got him dead on board next turn. Sweet. Down to 7. A 10 if he goes in with his life-linking vampires, but we still have 10 in the air, so... Discards to the Fury Blade. And that's going to be game. Alright, let's just block there, because I can. Kill it. I could bring back Conviction, but I think we're just going to end off right here and now, since we know he's got nothing. Murder this man. Sweet. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. A bit of a weird selection of matchups today, but there's not much I can really do about that. So that's why we got a third game in, because they were a bit all over the place, to be honest. I'll admit that. Anyway guys, be sure to like and subscribe if you like the look of the deck and you like the episodes as well. That helps me out a great deal. Lets me know you're enjoying the series and gets it into other people's eyes as well. So that's pretty sweet. Be sure to hit the little bell icon as well right next to the subscription button to be notified when I release new videos. Alright guys, I will see you next time. Bye bye.